Hey, welcome to another episode of Clear Light Connections, where we talk to the people behind the businesses of Bear Houston, proudly sponsored by UTMB Health. Today's guest is Heather, and you're with the Juxtapose Arts Collective. Tell me what it is you do and how it got started.
Yeah, awesome. Juxtapose is a nonprofit performing company that we have that produces live seasons throughout the year, and we incorporate all types of live media performance. So you will see a lot of ballet, but we also do a lot of live singing, incorporating live music. We have had poetry before and art exhibitions where people will come and see different galleries that have been put up. It's our mission to try to include as many different multimedia art forms as we can within our productions. We love to see the fusion of everything to come together and see what that makes. And for the audience perspective, everyone can kind of relate to something no matter what they're seeing.
Tell me more about that as an audience member. What will I expect, or what should I expect to see?
Most of the time in our shows, you would see the live dancing, but instead of them dancing to a track, they're dancing to live vocalists out there. A lot of times, the live vocalists are also incorporated into the dance, into the numbers. So we try to fuse the worlds as much as we can. Same thing with the live music that we have going on out there. We try to combine as much as we can.
So it's not just, for example, I saw you had Rock of Ages on the calendar.
Yeah.
So it's not just the musical. There's more to it.
Yeah, that's a great question, right? In Rock of Ages specifically, which is a musical, their band is an extra important ingredient in the show, and so that's exactly what we try to do. We try to take the live music and the singing, and it becomes part of the story, and not necessarily that's just enhancing the dancers out there.
Okay. How did you get involved with this?
Yeah, so I trained at a place called Royal Academy of Fine Arts with Lynette Mason-Gregg for my entire life, since I was 4. And it was always Lynette's mission as we were going through to be well-rounded artists. She wanted us to do everything. She had the highest quality of every instruction that you could imagine, but she wanted us to do everything. So that's how I formed the love of this and the mission. And so once she passed, I just kept trying to go forward. And I have a very big dance background, but my husband is an actor and singer. And so he has that background. So it just kind of worked that we could kind of fuse the two worlds together, and hopefully keep making her legacy live on.
Yeah, she definitely left a big legacy in this area. Yeah.
That's right.
So you do this with your husband then, and bring in other artists. Talk to me about the process of how you decide, what elements you're going to bring into a show.
Yeah, well, we have an artistic team where we come together at the beginning of every season, and we create our season, what we want to produce throughout the year. And we have representatives from each area within our artistic team. So I have a ballet mistress who she's going to really try to make sure that we get those classical ballets in, and we have that. And then I have a live vocalist that's part of our artistic team and helps coordinate that side, who's like, I had this really great idea that I love to do this. We have an actor who represents each side. So our artistic team that kind of runs and produces most of this. It's not just dancers out there. They reflect all the different disciplines. And so we all come together with one meeting, and we're like, okay, these are our ideas. How can we make these ideas make sense with our mission? And how can we put those together?
What is that mission?
I kind of started out with it, but it's fusing the different multimedia art forms together.
And so do you have a lot of big personalities? How do you manage that? Because that sounds like a...
Yeah.
It sounds like a process.
It is. There are a lot of big personalities. Artists always have their opinions, and they're always right. So sometimes the meetings can last very long.
So where do you do the shows?
Yeah, so we perform. Juxtapose Arts Collective is a sister company of our academy called the Jetpack, and the Jetpack has its own black box performance space. So a lot of those performances take place at our black box. But if we need to spread our wings and we have a really big production happening, we like to go over to the Match in
Okay.
Midtown.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you've got some flexibility there on but the Jetpack, that's local. So
That's right.
If the people in the Bay Area, if they wanted to see a show, that would be a prime location for them.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
So you obviously do things a little differently than just the normal dance academy, or
That's right.
So you must have felt there was a need for that. So you formed this nonprofit in order to fulfill that, I imagine.
That's right. Yeah. I had a ton of young artists, and they always have their different strengths and their different weaknesses, right? Some are incredible classical ballet dancers out there, but some of them have a voice that needs to be heard, and like young budding Broadway artist. And so there was a need for some sort of performance opportunity for all the different types of young artists that we had. So we were really working to fill this need for these young artists that were coming up. And
'Cause
performance is some of the best things you can do.
Yeah, because this area, we're blessed to have, like you said, a lot of young artists
So
and a lot of
much.
opportunities, and
So much talent out there. Yeah. Yeah.
so it's nice to have something different that can bring them all together.
That's the idea. That's
Okay.
right.
Tell me about one of your performances that you're most proud of and how it came together.
Okay, good.
Because we already said it was a process. So.
Yeah. That's hard. I have two, and you can use whichever ones that you want. But like I said, I was a dancer with Lynette for forever. So as a dancer, I grew up doing all of the Nutcrackers. I did, I was a littlest ginger child to the biggest sugar plum for forever. And I love that so much. But when I formed my company, I was like, I don't think I can do another Nutcracker.
Yeah.
So we have created our own holiday tradition performance called Believe. And it does exactly what our mission says. We have 4 guest vocal artists that come in to be a part of this. It's our own original story that we've created that has so much heart, and it's so beautiful. If you were to watch it, you would see a fusion of the Nutcracker that I've done for forever, maybe a little Polar Express, maybe a little Home Alone, a lot of holiday classics. You will see different parallels. They're like, I see that. And so it's a fusion of that, but we have done Believe now since 2017. And it's gone through many different renditions. My husband and our ballet mistress have really done the best job of watching the show, and they're like, okay, this character really works, this character does not really work, let's scrap this guy and let's create a new part of this, right? So we continue to workshop this show until we find something that, like, this is it, this is what I feel like we're very close. We've been workshopping it for a long time, and it's beautiful and it has heart. And like I said, no matter what your interest is, there's something for everyone. There's an awesome tap number in there, and there's this great hip hop number in there of like Forsaken Toys, incredible vocals, and beautiful classical dancing. And so to find a way to fuse all of those very different disciplines and make it make sense, we're extra proud of.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're on this journey of always trying to improve. And I imagine it's for all your shows, but for that show in particular, since you own it,
Yes,
it
sir.
sounds like that's something you're really passionate about.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I definitely believe that the arts, as they continue to grow and evolve, it does become a big fusion of a lot of different things. If you look at Broadway, classical ballet is all over Broadway. And if you look at classical companies like Houston Ballet, they're starting to make their dancers sing or speak on stage. It's something that's happening. So we love being a part of what that is.
So that's a recent trend, them trying to get their performers to be more versatile?
Yeah, I'd say within the last 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's and it leads to job opportunities. I would think more job opportunities that way. Down the
Yeah,
road.
that's what we love to tell our students too. It's like, if you can become proficient in all of these, you make yourself more marketable. whether, singing is your passion or not, if you can at least be out there and be comfortable with it, you might get the job that then leads to what you're really looking for. It just makes yourself way more marketable for the field out there.
And do you have a good story about an alum that went on to do something special like that?
That's good. We are kind of like, we formed in 2017. So I honestly, this past year was the first year that I've had a lot of seniors go off.
That must be nice.
Kind of. It was very sad. It was very sad. This was the first year this past May, just last month, that I was like, God, there's so many of them that are. So yes, I'm very proud of them, but I feel like we're still just a little too new to see what it,
But you expect big things down the road.
I do. I have one little girl that's gone straight to New York because that's exactly where she wants to be, and I have no doubt that she's going to do exactly what
and these
she
are
wants
mostly,
to
I
do.
would assume, local kids to the area?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've had a lot of nonprofits on the podcast, and there's one thing they always need. It's support, be it time or treasure. Tell me about any volunteer needs you have, or if somebody wants to donate to you so that you can keep living this mission.
Yeah. Every year we have a big kickoff ceremony. The past couple of years we have done it at the South Shore Harbor Resort. And that's a great opportunity to get to see what our upcoming season is looking like, to see the different things that we have in plan for it. And that is the biggest place that we ask for people's support and help with what our mission is. We're always looking for volunteers if they like to build sets or props or costumes. We always have a giant need for that because our production quality is truly something that we're very, very proud of. And then, of course, monetary as well, right? To help support the guest artists that we bring in and all the overhead that you have that go on with it. That's a great place to kind of get that first bit of information. But of course, we have our website, juxtaposearts.org, and all of that information is there, and the ability to access anything that we have going on there.
Now, you yourself said that you started in the Nutcracker when you were talk about the age ranges of not only your students but your other performers.
Yeah. So I would say that our company right now age ranges from 8 to 24. There's a little bit, we have something that's more of like a younger performing company that is incorporated to our bigger performances when the need arises. And so that's a little bit of our younger group. But then the main gist of our company, I'd say 13 to 24 in there.
Okay, great. Sounds like you've given all ages kind of a place they can perform and grow their talent.
Yeah, we definitely try to, because all of these kids do this because they like to perform. And so the more performance opportunity that you have out there, the more enthusiastic they are to come into class and do the work. It's not always as fun to go to the bar and do your pliés every single day, but when you know that you're doing it because you get to perform and you get to share your art and hopefully you get to hear that applause after you have done a good job, that is why everyone does it. So we work extra hard to give as many performance opportunity as we can.
Anything else you'd like to tell us about either the collective or, you're obviously very passionate about this subject.
Yeah, I can tell you about another show that we do every year. It's like part of our mission, and we love to start our season off with it. And it's called Evening of Art. And each Evening of Art will have a theme to it. Last year I think we did heroes and myths and legends. And so within the Evening of Art, I feel like it's one of the best shows that we do that tries to accomplish our mission. That's the one where we bring in different local artists from our community, and we allow them to set up their works as a gallery in our space. And so our patrons that come can peruse the gallery to see if there's different pieces of art that that they could buy. So that way our local artists, they make some good commissions off of that weekend. again, we always have live instrumentalists, live vocalists, live dancers. We love to include aerial arts. That's another big variable that you're starting to see everywhere. And we're just blessed with an incredible team that has some great training and experience with it. And so I always love Evening of Art. We start our season off with it every year because it is what we are. And it's just one of my favorite things.
And when does your season start so everybody can know for
Yeah.
either this year or next year?
Yeah, absolutely. End of September.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
Yes, sir.